Ready to run a podcast? What do we got top of mind for us today on this?
He's sporting the black T-shirt look.
Yeah, I know. I've recorded too many of these. I'm gonna go for the black T-shirt too.
Kevin, and then all of us. What the hell? Just turn the heat up.
Although I won't look as muscular as René. So
yeah, the reason for my black T-shirt is because I actually don't really own any black T-shirts, so this is actually backwards.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Now
backwards T-shirt with
That's
logo.
even better. Okay.
I
can take this thing off.
Okay.
Hey, we're like dudes from California in black T-shirt, San Diego, LA, and San Francisco, man.
I don't own T-shirts, right? And so I didn't want to change right now for a freaking dress shirt.
And I could show you my closet. I literally have I don't know, 30, 40 black T-shirts or something black. That's all I got. And they're all hung up.
That's all I got. I'm
the antithesis of his wardrobe.
Yeah.
No, that's good for you kids. I used to be like that. I used to dress in suits and shit. It was fun.
You reach a point. Johnny Cash, dress in black.
Gary Player, Johnny Cash. This guy's got it. He got the best fashion sense in the world. And every woman in New York and Philadelphia, they all wear black. It's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are on the We Fix Real Estate podcast, and you already can tell we're all wearing black shirts, looking fly. René, how are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. I mean, it's sunny over here. I'm hearing there's still rain out there, and I saw a lot of videos of the flooding that's still happening down there.
Ugly.
Yeah, Fred, you were on ground zero.
Yeah, well, where I live, I'm kind of in between, and there's no way. The wind kind of comes through, the weather comes on the roof and down on the ground, but it goes off into the ocean, thank God, because I'm right near there. So we don't have any drainage problems. Everything was fine here. But man, I remember the day before all this stuff started, they issued a warning to get out of parts of Topanga. They knew it was going to happen.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously close to get to the mountains and where you don't have any, way to stop massive amounts of water, it's going to destroy things. And I think we've all seen the pictures down the LA River and out to the ocean, and that water just goes away. But, better safe than sorry.
Well, it's crazy. We got off relatively okay down in San Diego. I mean, I think the storm was to the north of us.
Yeah.
But man, across the west, that was the biggest topic last week, and it's topic this week. How did that open house go that you guys did on Saturday?
Well, wait, before I do that, before we forget about the weather, what's interesting is the two states that get the most water, I guess, put it the best way, is Florida and California. And in California, we've slowly seen some of the insurers get out of the state temporarily, at least. But Florida literally just shutting it down. Getting insurance there is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's mostly because of the hurricanes. And, we got the flooding now and the damage that it causes. So keep an eye, California, on insurance, because that's probably going to be our next crisis. So if there's any legislators out there who have some answers and can solve the problem before it happens, which is always nice to do, that would be a beautiful thing. So,
yeah. I've been hearing this quite a bit, though, about this house insurance and all these people the insurance companies just pulling out. But on a federal level, it seems like somebody's got to step in, because you got to have insurance.
Well, the states are going to have to make their own reinsurance type of thing. Insurance of last resort. I think that's the way it's going to work. It's too big for the feds, and every state has completely different laws. It would be impossible. So we're not going to solve that problem here. Just let everybody know, every politician, now that it's election season, let them know it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the solution is simple. I think people should not be forced to have insurance. Simple as that.
No, mortgage companies demand it. That's why.
Exactly. For sure. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that people shouldn't.
That'll never happen. The mortgage company's not giving the insurance.
I'm sure it's never going to happen. But if I were to be asked what the biggest scam in the world is, it's insurance.
Well, I'll take it one step farther and take it right into our industry. I have very, 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 very rarely ever seen a claim on a title insurance policy. That being the fact, there is this whole thing going around that they're trying to get approved by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to have these attorneys just do title reviews because it's all electronic now. So why do you need this insurance and bring the cost down significantly, especially on a refinance? You own the place. All they do is check to see you still own the place and that you're the owner's record, and the attorney can do that. And so, but the title industry is fighting it, of course, because they do more and blah, 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 blah. We'll see what happens with that. So I can't concern myself with it. The title insurance is there now. We've talked in the past about escrow fees from escrow companies that you don't know until after you sign a contract. You can go back to our podcast there and hear all the issues with that. So moving on. And what was your question, Drew? I think
on the last show we talked about the showing on Saturday. How it was
okay.
Weather.
So here's what happened. I went there on Saturday. The open house was between 1 and 3. I got there around 12 and kind of looked around the house. Everything looked fine. Opened all the doors and windows and lights on and whatever I needed to do to get it going. In addition, I brought an apple pie and threw that in the oven. People love that. It's just the smells, because you don't have any other smells. I should bring some candles though next time. Anyway, so it was very good. Funny thing was, right in front of the house, right where you'd walk up in the path, was parked a truck that was attached in the back with a smoker, a giant metal smoker.
Like a barbecue truck?
Meated. Yeah, barbecue truck. And our owner knew the guy and has been trying to get a hold of him to ask him just to move the truck, but he can't get a hold of him. So my owner said, this guy's great. He'll smoke anything for you. He just does it for fun. So I don't know if your neighborhood has a smoker guy, but usually not too dependable.
That could be
so anyway, people got around that. And we had about 15 separate parties, 1 or 3 or 5 or whatever, viewing it. We had interest. We had some packages that were looked at. And so Sunday I said, no way, no how. Because the rain started, about noonish, I guess. Mm-hmm. And the wind, it was just horrible. And there was an agent who actually scheduled her own showing for 4:00 on that day.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, yeah. And I'm saying, did you see the weather forecast? She said, well, this is the only time the person could make it. I said, please don't go. I don't know if she went or not, or if she's still alive. Didn't hear it anymore. I don't know. Didn't check on her. So Sunday I just said, bag it. It's crazy. We've had a couple of showings during the week through agents, and we're going to do 2 more open houses this weekend. And then I'm an offer date, not on Tuesday. I don't know if you saw this, René.
Yeah, I know. You made it on Valentine's Day. What the heck?
Offer date is going to be Valentine's Day.
Wow.
And we have a new listing coming up in Venice, and we're going to put it on the market on Valentine's Day. It's just too cute. It's too sentimental that, remember when we bought that house on Valentine's Day? Oh.
I do wonder if there's any MLS rules against adding parts and stupid little.
No, the characters won't work. They've stripped them. You could only put in data.
No, but the image, right?
No, it won't accept it. They have that filtered.
No emojis.
Believe me, the fact you can't put in paragraphs drives me crazy. It's one continuous MLS description and one giant long gated sentences. My English teacher would cringe.
Has to do with the IDX feeds.
Yeah, don't get us started on that.
But I think something worth talking about though is even for our new listing, we do have a lot of traffic going into it, but you also do see quite a lot of inventory coming out in the market. People are ready to sell, which means If you're in the market or if you've been in the market to buy in the past year or two, it's time to get your fully underwritten pre-approval up to date, because you will and could find a house that you like, but it's not going to last within a week. I think we're getting to the point where the market is as hot as it was back in 2021, which is the height of the hot real estate market.
All right, René. The one we lost with the two different buyers, what was the asking and what did it sort of kind of go for and where were we? So this was in Cupertino.
Yeah.
Basically, with stone's throw away from Apple. So it's serious Silicon Valley real estate. So fire away.
It's a nice, quite beautiful property, right? Listed at 2.6. Definitely, underpriced, but, the comps and the homes in the area, it was looking into the low 3 million, right? Turns out, it received 19 offers and it went for 3.5 million. No estimate had 3.5 million, in their estimates. Redfin had 3.3. Zillow had 2.9, I believe. My estimate was 3.1. It's actually been the house that I've been the most wrong in probably the last year and a half, maybe, which is bad because I'm usually good at knowing what it's going to go for.
Yeah, you are. What it tells us, there's people with money. There's people that don't care. They want the house.
Yep. So
unless you're willing to compete against them, you're never going to get that house.
There's a large infusion of cash from everywhere, right? You have the S&P 500 at all-time high. You have people that have been saving for years now to have a bigger down payment, and you have China's stock market meltdown.
Yeah, I have a comment about that because I heard this from, as a matter of fact, the seller of the guy of the house in Venice. He said, I just didn't keep up on this, but the Chinese are allowed to take money out and send it to Japan. So what's happening is tons of money is going into Japan. The Nikkei is going crazy. Japan's having this boom. And the other thing is 2008, 2009, 2010, that era, that's China dominated. Those guys wrote the checks. They had the money. They were buying our bonds, et cetera, et cetera. But what they did is they were smart. When it crashed here, they bought every piece of amazing real estate they could. Tons of things in places like Nob Hill in San Francisco. They would go for 15 million. They picked it up for 5. And what they did,
Chinese.
Yeah. And what they did, they literally shut down the houses, just closed them down. Boom. Now they need the money. So the high end is going to start getting a little bit flooded with things like that. And they're basically all over California and Washington, Vancouver. That's part of the problem Vancouver was having. Chinese investors. Look at that condo building in downtown Los Angeles next to the crypto.com arena that got all the vandalism. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
It was fabulous. These guys figured out a way to get into the building because it wasn't secure. And literally on every floor, they did their signature stuff. A bunch of them. And it was
because the condo was empty due to just
totally empty. And they did 2 towers. It's fabulous. It's really fabulous. I don't know how you Google that, but it was very cool. And these things were empty because they ran out of money because they were Chinese investors.
Yeah.
And they just abandoned it, and it doesn't make sense to buy for some reason for somebody. I don't know what's going on.
Well, so I actually kind of have an argument against that. So I think that because the market in China is so bad, people want to still sell their assets in China and infuse the money into the U.S. That's still happening. So
it's harder to get it here because they can take it to Japan. It's easy.
Perfect. But we know some people here that have a lot of startups that can help you transfer the money from China to the US. So reach out to us if you need to do that. If you're a Chinese investor looking to transfer money to the States, contact me.
That's René.
It's a bold statement, man.
Savant and facilitator.
I don't know what part of the Securities and Exchange Commission's rules and regulations you violated, but I'm sure there was one or two. Just sorry, guys, we're just having fun. Only kidding. Hey, let me interject something right now when we're talking about money coming in. I want to talk about when you are going for a mortgage and what they do to look at your assets. If your income is okay, and they're going to look at the last 2 months of bank statements where all your money is. And they're going to say to you, if they see a big number showing up, 50 grand just shows up in your account. Well, where did it come from? You have to do an audit trail. Then if it's a gift from your parents, it's coming from Japan, but it's labeled another thing, and then it's all in Chinese and Japanese, forget it. Here's what you do. Get the money as soon as you can, put it in your account or wherever you buy stock. Doesn't really matter what you do with it. And don't apply for a mortgage for 3 months, just to make sure that money is in the account. Nobody's going to ask about it. Because there's also, if you're going to go on one of these income only verification of your bank statements, sometimes that can raise some red flags too, because they want 12 or 24 months. So just get the money as soon as you can. Don't wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Good
go.
advice. On the housing inventory coming up, totally makes sense. I had a friend that helped him. He marketed U.S. real estate to Chinese investors to buy homes here. And he had boom times, 2008 through all the way to about 5 years ago for luxury real estate. So it totally coincides. I should go back to him. He should go hit up all the people that bought those houses. They may want to sell now.
There you go.
On another thing though, I want to talk about, it's an old topic, but it's a new topic. Because I was watching, you watch YouTube all night long when you have nothing else to watch. And I watched a show about the economy and how even though we may think the S&P is high and we may think real estate's due to a correction, according to this guy who I was watching, who I don't remember who he is, some investment banker, was talking about real estate's going to be
all the same.
Increasing.
We just call them the suits.
Up until about 2038 because of the millennials. And we've been talking about the millennial population being the largest population and affecting all aspects of the economy as they go through an age. And now that millennials, the youngest ones are about 37 now, I think. They're now at their prime home buying years, and they've been waiting. And they're going to, for the next 20 years, they're going to be buying. And they're going to be buying like no one else has been buying as and they're going to make more money, and their kids, whatever the next generation is called, is going to get that money, and they're going to buy pieces of real estate. It's just a question of where. Real estate is you got to live somewhere. They've been waiting for their time though. They've been waiting for their time to actually exert their force on investments and really start to make their mark on the world. My question is, anecdotally from you guys, as you're buying and selling, boots on the ground, are you seeing this? Most of our customers are millennials.
Yeah. No, I mean, most of our customers are, they're, 35 plus, between 35 to 45, I think.
Yeah.
Our age range.
And are they first time or second time home buyers?
Yeah, 50-50, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somebody already bought a townhouse. Now they have 2 kids. They don't have room. They need to move. They keep their houses. Like 99% of our customers in Silicon Valley keep their houses. They understand that'll pay for college.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what we also see is that, probably 80% of our clients also have funds from, just parents were able to assist them, right? Which is just.
Oh, there are a lot of children too. I mean, I don't know that high a percentage getting it from the parents, but there's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
So.
But I think that the largest portion of sellers and buyers was the boomer generation, right? I do think that the population wise, it is smaller in the millennial population. Like it's a smaller market, right?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of the sellers now.
Correct.
Buyers,
millennials are the buyers.
Boomers are the sellers of the big houses, and they're going to wherever they're going to either move in with somebody or.
Yeah, I mean, I think it won't really matter that much just because a lot of the boomers are downsizing, right?
Yeah.
Where you see the millennials upgrading. So it's kind of it's kind of like a cycle. It's a shift. So
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Life
the
continues.
other part about that cycle was my generation, the X generation, wasn't really big enough to move anything. So we just kind of slipped through between the two. So anything that we saw over the last 10, 15 years was kind of our slacker years. We bought houses and stuff, but didn't really move the market. The millennials will be moving it, and the boomers exiting will be moving it. So to those people waiting, you may have to wait quite a while.
Yep. So speaking of that, we're full force going into Texas, and Drew, we'll talk about this after the podcast. We got all our paperwork straightened away. I got to give the Texas Real Estate Board props. They got our thing turned around in about 3 days.
Awesome.
As opposed to California, I think I sent them a form in 1974, and I'm still waiting for the reply. Love you, California. They won't automate anything because they don't want to lose union jobs. So it's
a lot of the California forms, you have to go to the office and submit it or mail it.
Have to mail it in. Yeah. It's just crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I know. I don't even know of one down here. I'm sure there is. I know where the one in Oakland is.
Mm-hmm.
Right off.
There's one in San Diego, there's one in Los Angeles, there's one in Sacramento, and one here in Oakland.
Yeah. I gotta find the LA one. Well, not that I have anything.
No.
So
last week we talked about Texas.
Last week we talked about we're going to be playing buyer broker in Texas. We're going to have a non-exclusive buyer broker contract. The realtors all use the same form, which is a exclusive buyer broker contract. So we're just doing the right thing. If you don't like working with us, why should we work with you and lock you in? It's utterly ridiculous. If you don't like us, we don't want we don't want to tie you in either.
Yeah, last week we talked about this, and I was going to bring it up right now. You mentioned towards the end about that non-exclusive contract. But tell everyone again, in case they didn't listen last week, about how revolutionary this is.
Well, here's the thing. You find us, and we like to start every conversation and every relationship with a Google Meet. You tell us everything about what you're looking for. We'll go through the entire process. And so we talk. If we agree that we want to move forward, we open a Slack channel. Most of the people I never ever talk to ever, you're in the Slack channel. We're dealing with it that way. But it may be that, hey, you decide for one reason or another, you want to work with somebody else and go see, let's say your cousin gets a license and your mom says, you got to use your cousin. And it's like, okay, we understand. So you go and use your cousin. Maybe you saw one house with us and we took care of doing an offer or something. So you're kind of bound to us for that house because we actually did things more than just, opened a door. Procuring costs. Yeah. Google it, kids. But if you go to somebody else, go to somebody else. So that's what a non-exclusive contract is. Exclusive says we're married or a real estate transaction and you can't get divorced.
Yeah.
They put it in the worst way possible.
I guess Fred, hates marriages. I think marriages
don't hate marriages.
Exclusivity, I don't think it's a bad thing unless you can't cancel it. So my understanding is everything is cancelable, even if it's exclusive. I mean, if you don't want to work with us. So I think what I think about exclusive contracts is that the biggest reason why I would like a type of exclusive contract is so that people are on the same page, right? Like if you don't want to work with us, it would be nice to know like, hey guys, like I'm no longer working with you guys versus just being ghosted, right? I think that's
but that's what people do. No.
Well, sure, but just because people do it doesn't mean it's right.
No, I agree. But so I'd love to know what we did wrong or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think exclusive contracts, like you going into a buyer saying like, I'm here with you, you can only work with me. I think that's slimy, it's sneaky, right? But there should, even in non-exclusive contracts, there should be a clause like, hey, if you don't want to work with us anymore, like let us know. So I think some form of exclusivity there.
Yeah, but then it's not an exclusive contract because it's easily cancelable. So it's a non-exclusive contract. I mean, we're not lawyers, but I mean, that's...
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm just, just arguing to argue. I mean...
sometimes you can agree. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, we're plugging this into Texas. We got a great broker there. You do the Dallas area is really kind of our concentration. There's a lot of houses there, a lot for sale, a lot of people. So we're going to start there.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not a Cowboys fan. Let me declare that right up. Let's not talk football.
Edit that part out, but
Yeah.
so yeah, we do have the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. Any prognostications?
Oh God.
Well,
It's going to air afterwards. So whatever you say,
Yeah.
no chance.
I mean, the biggest betting odds, right now, it's like the biggest kind of. So I guess here's what happened, right? 4 years ago, what happened? It was during presidential elections. The Super Bowl was also the 49ers against the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs won.
Oh, okay.
So whoever wins the Super Bowl is going to define who is going to be president.
Gosh.
So if the Chiefs win, Biden's in office.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the 49ers win, it's going to be Trump. There is a website called electionbettingodds.com.
I'm
And
sure there is.
what they do, they just do an average of all the national polling, right?
Mhm.
So
Which, by the way, let me explain to the electorate out there that a national polling of national things up or down means absolutely zero. Tell me what 270towin.com. It's the only thing that matters. Give me the electoral college. Remember that, kids? I just want to know, you can have a gazillion, everybody in Kentucky and Montana who wants to vote for him. And then they're red states and it doesn't matter, but Arizona goes blue, Nevada goes blue, New Mexico goes blue, Wisconsin, Michigan. Election's over. Okay? That's all that matters. Give me the polls in the swing states. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters.
okay, well, I think you should look into the actual states because also those swing states are turning red. So just
Okay.
putting it out there.
What date is this? February the 8th.
Yeah.
February the 8th. A lot of prognostications going on right
There's
now.
a lot, yes.
It'll be fun to revisit. Back to real estate. What's the good word?
Good word is we are seeing 15 plus offers in all properties.
Yeah, that's
it's just-
incredible.
It's madness.
Well, how many were in Porter Ranch? We just won one in Porter Ranch. We should bring that up because there was something
so
interesting.
obviously it's market to market. So down in SoCal, we had a property in Porter Ranch, received 4 offers. So it was
That's all. Okay.
yeah. It's in the big scheme of things, it's not that competitive. The reason we got that though, was because of our terms. Clean offer, no inspection contingency, and
there's a little history to that. Yeah. So the same people, their last offer, they lost because somebody waived the contingency. And they're gutting it out. And we worked out a thing with a company called Inspectify that we work with, that they can send out an inspector, kind of go with you and kind of walk through the property and just make sure it's not falling apart. Because there's always going to be stuff that needs to be done in an old house. But this way you can try to go in and waive the inspection because it's not destructed. So it's risk. It's total risk. We're not telling you to do it, but people are doing it and they're getting that crazed about doing it because it's a way to win. Because all this is about is the seller being most comfortable. It's like highest number and I don't have to worry about anything. And then we have the nuclear option that I call it, which is if you're going to waive everything, the mortgage, the appraisal value, the inspections, you got all the disclosures, everything's done. What you do is you say to the seller, dude, I'll give the escrow company the money, which in California is 3% of the sale price. So it's $30,000 on $1 million. And if I don't, and you know what? You can have it right away. After the escrow company gets it, you can release it to the owner. Non-refundable. I'm scaring the hell out of a lot of you right now. But think about it. If you don't show up for closing, they can keep your money. So that's just the way the contract is. So
it's already non-refundable, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
yeah, pretty much. I mean, René did a great job on one deal where he got the money, part of the money back or all the money back.
We got all the money back. Yeah. You know, sellers aren't inherently evil, right? So their whole goal is not to keep the 3% deposit if something wrong happens, you know, like, hey, I got laid off and I can't buy the house anymore, or the mortgage didn't go through because I had some funds from family members that didn't go through, whatever it may be. Now, the good thing about such a hot market is there's going to be other offers. So a good real estate listing agent will have backup offers. Right. So if you can't get to closing, you know what, fine, whatever. I'll just pick someone else. So keeping the 3% is not going to be something that a seller wants in their conscience.
Well, here's something interesting. In California, the money goes all to the seller. In Pennsylvania, the money is split between the owner and the real estate broker. And that's in the listing contracts. And everybody normally does 50%. So, you know, the agent wants the money because, like, wow, bonus commission. So,
yeah, I actually didn't.
Anyway, contact your lawyer before you do anything. That's all we can say. Yeah, so it's a crazy market out there. My big word is, it's more than one word, but I got to say it, fully underwritten pre-approvals. I can't say it. I just can't stop saying it. We get people come in, hey, I got a pre-approval with XYZ, and tell them why it's worthless. Some of them, most people listen to us, but there's some are just like, I don't know, that sounds weird. We do this every day. I write contracts and we waive because we got fully underwritten, because here's the other really important thing. You're not negotiating with a seller. You think you are, and the offer's going to the seller. You're competing against other buyers. I don't know how many times I say that, but think about it. You know, you don't know who those buyers are. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're going to offer. You don't know their conditions of their mortgage, but most of them are fully underwritten because the agents know that, and they tell people to do it, or most of the agents, but there's still some that haven't a clue. And if your agent doesn't tell you to get a fully underwritten pre-approval, get another agent, because you're uncompetitive now. Your thing goes right to the bottom. You have zero chance, no matter what price you put on it. Because here's the little thing that the seller thinks, oh, you're going to offer me $1.5 million, but everybody else is offering me $1 million, but you need a mortgage contingency of 10 days. Well, what's going to happen is it's never going to appraise, and then they end up selling it at $1 million. So it's just a game to get it under contract sometimes. You know, especially when it's an outrageous offer with a mortgage contingency or an inspection contingency. You know, they're trying to get out of the deal. They're trying to renegotiate. So good agent will sniff that out. God, it's talked a long time.
You know, this has been a very interesting episode. We will check back next week to see how the prognostications are, see where we're at. I don't think we even said who was going to win, so we're all clear.
Come on, René, just make something up.
Okay, René.
I mean, I live in San Francisco, right? So I have
There you go.
Yeah, you kind of have to go San Francisco.
And you're always arguing with me anyway. So yeah, you have to pick the 49ers. Yeah. There we go. Arrivva picks everybody to win.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that everybody's like the golden star, like, oh, you're a winner. Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, you're a winner. By the way, we have no award ceremonies in our company.
No, I should start giving myself awards.
Oh, yeah. You put it on LinkedIn. You know, Broker of the Year or something.
Sweet.
I hereby acknowledge René as Broker of the Year.
There you have it.
Hey, real quick thing while we're talking about that. There's a lot of people who say to us after we have the Google Meet, okay, well, you're going to assign me to an agent. And it's like, no, dude, you don't understand. You're getting us. You're getting top level brokerage who've been doing this for a long time and know the market. And we deal with everybody. We must have, I don't know, kind of 10 to 50 active people all the time. And we control it all in Slack. It's a beautiful thing and we love it. And it works. And the two of us basically have our emails and Slack open 24/7-ish, but I'm up early. He's up late. But yeah, you get us. We don't have the outside agents. In Texas, you will get Haley because she's a broker there, but you'll still get our expertise.
Yeah. Recently rare to have first-hand contact expertise. That's
there
great.
You go.
Well, guys, check back next week. We'll see how everything happened.
There you go.